Hello, everybody. Kim Sashio here. I am a distance education coordinator at the Skyline CTTL. I'd like to welcome you to our 10-day accessibility challenge. And today we're focusing on headings. So distinctive headings let students quickly scan a page to understand its organization and structure. Visually distinctive headings are especially important for students with low vision and with learning disability. Why would you want to use Canvas heading styles? Well, all students need access to instructional content, regardless of their disability status. And if they use assistive technologies, such as a screen reader or even a text reader like Kurzweil, they rely on HTML tags to navigate the content on a web page. So properly tagged headings let students with disabilities scan content like everyone else. And I'll tell you, it is much easier to use the Canvas rich content editor to format your headings than to dive into the code and tweak the HTML. So some quick accessibility considerations, pretty much for everyone. Keep your headings short, brief, and focused on the content. Avoid full sentences. You want your headings to be distinctive and really stand apart from the surrounding text. Use the Canvas heading styles for proper HTML coding. And whatever you do, do not embed heading text into an image. That makes it invisible to assistive technologies, and it makes it very difficult for a lot of folks to see and read, even if they're not using those assistive technologies. All right, I'm going to do a quick demonstration for you on using the Canvas heading styles. Familiar to you, this is our day one Canvas page. I want to point out the page title that I put in here. Canvas automatically codes this as the heading 1 that you have to have at the top of every web page. All right, so you see the rich content editor toolbar at the top. You'll notice that heading 2 is indicated here. That's because I've got my cursor in the first heading on this page. Every Canvas page, every web page needs a content header at the top at heading 2 style. The reason for this is that many screen readers really need that landmark, as it were, for them to be able to correctly navigate the page. So that first header is always going to be heading 2. How do I create this heading 2? Well, let us add a new heading here that I will delete. All right, so you notice that now this drop down says paragraph. That's because this is a paragraph, right? What if I were to make it big? Let's make it big. Isn't that wonderful? This may be helpful visually to someone who's looking at the page, but it's not going to do anything for someone who's using assistive technology, because you'll see as I'm clicking back and forth, the underlying code, this style says it's a paragraph. But what I can do is I can either place my cursor in the text or I can select it, and then I select the proper heading style, which could be a 2 if this is a brand new topic, or more likely it's going to be a heading 3, a subtopic. All right, now notice it didn't actually change the way it looks. So it did not overwrite it. It just gave it the proper heading style. So I'll show that to you again, and this time I won't format it. This time I'm just leaving it like that, and I'm going to choose a heading. I'll choose a 3, so you can see it's smaller. This automatically creates a visual structure for you that's going to make a lot of sense to folks. And that's it. That is how simple it is. Oh, one last little tip. Let's say I've got this heading and I don't like the way it looks. Now I can edit it however I want, and it's still going to have that correct heading style. Okay? All righty, everybody. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.